Do you have an open or unconscious ego in your human design chart? And do you feel as if you're never enough, and whatever you do, it's never enough, that you have always to prove yourself and to prove your worth to be enough, but end up feeling like you're anyways never enough? Well, my sweet people all over the world, it's really important to understand that if you have an open ego, and if you don't know if you have an open ego, type report in the comments and you will get a 20 pages report, free report written by me, where you get more information about your design and also if you have an open ego or not. Or if you want to have more information about your design, it's never enough, right? Human design is so beautiful and it's so fascinating to discover deeper and deeper layers of our unique human design genetic blueprint. And so it's important to understand that those broken records that we have with the open ego in our system, in our mind, they're the result of painful experiences from the past and trauma that made us believe that we are not enough. And especially if you have an open ego, then you believe it even more because it's your Achilles heel. It's kind of a wound. You're especially sensitive to those topics. And so guiding people through human design and through trauma alchemy, I really started to work with them on their traumas and the conditioning that they experienced in their past. It could be something like you had a mother that was traumatized, or had a mother that herself didn't receive enough love, and so she didn't give you enough attention, and was maybe always nagging and always, or maybe stressed out and giving you the feeling that you're not enough and you're not doing it ever enough. And you will have this broken record from your past, from your mother, through this conditioning, through this imprint, through this experience, and it will become your inner monologue, especially if you have an open ego, and you will see life through this lens of never being enough and trying to prove your worth in a partnership, in a relationship, in your job. You will also, open ego, struggle often on the financial plane and think they are not enough in regards to money, and their value is very connected to having money or not having money. But your value has nothing to do with that. I have a defined ego, unconsciously defined, but still defined, and I healed how it was broken, and we are enough. But most people don't feel it because we were not conditioned in the past as children that people told us, you are enough, my sweet little pumpkin. You're enough and I love you. And yeah, you make mistakes, but you're enough. And you learn from your mistakes, but you're enough. Who got that conditioning from us? Most people didn't. And we experienced, most of us did experience a lot of lack of love and pain with our parents in our relationships. So it created this deep-rooted pain in the open ego that we are not enough. And it created a lot of shame. Shame is a huge topic for people with an open ego because they are ashamed of who they are and they feel within so worthless. And when I work with people through human design and also the trauma alchemy lens, I help them to decondition from this deep pain so that they don't make any more decisions based on their lack of self-worth that was conditioned. That's not their true self. That's not their actual genetic reality. But they believe that through those painful and sometimes traumatic experiences, and I help them to decondition, and through strategy and authority, help them to not make any more decisions based on this pain and based on this lack and based on this conditioning. You're not enough, because it's not true. And so our strategy and authority helps us to get out, slowly but surely, out of this state of making decisions based on low self-esteem. But additionally, I use also trauma alchemy that has nothing to do with human design. That's my personal experience because I was heavily traumatized and I was suicidal in my past 3 times. And it started with 12 that I didn't find any solution, didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel that I wanted with 12 years already to take my life for the first time because I was so desperate and so broken and so deeply traumatized through different experiences. So I started to do also trauma work, and I developed my trauma alchemy where we tapped. I use tapping or EFT based on Gary Craig. He's a freaking genius. Same as Rauru, who is a freaking genius. And tapping, I'm not doing the identical EFT that Gary Craig does. Therefore, I'm calling it trauma alchemy in respect for him. And we do really this deep work where we decondition, where we on a cellular and neurological and biochemical level, when we start tapping certain points on our nervous system, when we tap those points, we metabolize our pain. We can decondition, we can metabolize conditioning that was put into our system in the open centers, in the open gates and channels. Sorry, English is not my native language. And so that we can release this pain in those aspects, and it works magically. Really, it is amazing. As I said, I was suicidal 3 times, and I love life, and life is so good to me, and it helped me to overcome human design and trauma alchemy, my strategy and authority, and tapping with the shit that happened to me and make alchemy out of it. It helped me to transform my past and transform my past. So those are the 2 things that I work with people. And if you're interested, type report in the comments and you will get free brief report written by me about your human design, about your strategy and authority, and about your Achilles heels, so that you can deepen your human design experiment. And on that side, you will also find my trauma alchemy free ebook, where you can start tapping and start decondition on a deeper level, if that's what is correct for you. And I want with you in this video make a little tapping sequence for the open ego. And to understand, this little tapping sequence won't dissolve all your pain from the past. It takes time. It's a process, because we cannot rip out synapses from our brain and just throw them on the street. It takes time to recalibrate the brain and to resolve the pain from our neurological system, our biochemical system, and also it is sitting in the memory of our cells. So it takes time, but it's worth it. And so we'll make a little sequence for the open ego, how it feels. Tap with me, I will show that to you. But to release the pain even deeper, it's important to go to the specific events that created this pain. And then if we metabolize those and release those on a neurological and biochemical level, you'll see you will feel freer, because this trauma, this past, is not sitting anymore in your system and cannot be triggered anymore. And many wounds in the open ego, when we work on with the events that triggered this I am not enough, because when you were born, you didn't think and feel like you were not enough, right? The experiences forged you to believe, to think that you were not enough. But those experiences, they are sitting in your neural network as a memory, as an imprint, as a conditioning, and we can recalibrate the brain through tapping and release this old conditioning and trauma and pain. So, if you like, just do it with me. For now, it's a short sequence. As I said, I would go way deeper if I worked with people individually. We would go directly, specifically in the specific events, because that's the root cause of all your beliefs, of all your feeling unloved, unworthy, not enough, and your not self pushing you into proving your worth. So just do it with me. Try it out if it's correct for you. And as I said, type report in the comments and you will find our free trauma alchemy ebook and also a brief report about your human design and the most aspects of it. Okay? I feel like I'm not enough. And just for you to understand, those points that I'm tapping, they are connected with your nervous system, and the nervous system is connected with your hormonal system. So we are doing kind of frequency magic in your nervous and biochemical system, so that we are releasing this conditioning and this pain. And you just tap with me, just look at the points and repeat the sentences that I'm sharing, and you can adapt them to your feeling. Those are just examples, but that's a way how we can decondition slowly but surely all this pain, together with strategy and authority, by not acting on those beliefs, by not acting on, I feel worthless, so I have to prove my worth. But also, if we take trauma alchemy, the tapping, into the boat and implement that in our day-by-day life, then it really gets easier and deeper, because we go to the root of the cause of this I'm not feeling worthy and not enough. But for now, as I said, it's a video for Instagram and YouTube. I invite you to tap with this pain and tap along and look how it makes you feel. And it might be, even if I end the video, that some old pain has emerged from the past. That's okay. Just when the video ended, just sit there and tap a little more. If tears come up, tap a little more. Be gentle and kind with yourself. Kindness and gentleness is really the key to resolving old pain and old patterns. Okay, my dears, let's start, okay? I feel so worthless. So worthless. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like I'm never enough. And I feel like I've never been enough. Since I remember, I felt like I'm not enough. I felt like I'm a failure. I felt like I have to prove my worth, and it's exhausting. I am so tired. I am so tired. So tired. So tired. So tired. And I have compassion with myself. I feel so worthless, and I feel so insecure. I feel so worthless, and I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like I know that I'm not enough, but I don't like to feel that way, but I don't know how not to feel that way. It's like I felt always that way, that I'm not enough, and it makes me sad, and it exhausts me. I am so tired, so tired, so tired. I feel like I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. And I have compassion with myself. And I have compassion with all that has happened to me, that made me believe that I'm not enough, that I'm not enough, that I'm not enough. And it's okay. But it's just old conditioning. That's not who I am. Even though I believe that's who I am. I am not enough. And I feel worthless. I am not enough. And I feel worthless. I am not enough, and I feel worthless. I'm not enough, and I feel worthless. Okay, hey my dears, that's like a really short sequence. I normally, if I work with people individually, I go way deeper and we tap on it for 90 minutes. But we don't tap just on beliefs, because beliefs are the tip of the iceberg. Beliefs were created through conditioning. It's how you were forged, conditioned, and imprinted in your past. And we have to go there in the past, and the past lies the gold. And we have to release this old pain that is sitting right now in your nervous system, in your brain as a memory, and recalibrate your brain, metabolize this pain, and then slowly but surely, if we metabolize most of the events that led you to believe that you're not enough with the open ego and that you have to prove yourself, it will lead to a release of this pain, and you will start to feel worthy. And I have witnessed that in those 13 years that I've been working with people, even longer, but with human design and especially trauma alchemy, 13 years, that so many egos come into peace. This inner monologue of not enough and of proving subsides slowly but surely and gets less and less and less through tapping. Together with tragedy and authority, tapping deepens the deconditioning. That's not what Who said. That's what I have discovered in my 13 years of experiment, in my 13 years of deconditioning and looking at my pain and looking at the shit that happened to me and making alchemy out of it. So I hope it inspires you, it helps you. As I said, normally I would go way deeper. At some point, maybe I'm doing already in German group trauma alchemy sessions where we go deeper into the open centers and in general to the past and the pain. And maybe at some point, I'm going to do that also with the international people. Looking forward to it. Okay, I hope you have a sweet day. Don't forget to follow your tragedy and authority. And if you feel pain and sadness and fear, tap. It metabolizes pain and fear and sadness and old conditioning. Okay, sweet people all over the world. I wish you all the best, and bye-bye for now.